everyone, welcome back to QSR Nation, your go-to source for food service marketing and business strategies for success.
Everybody, welcome back to QSR Nation. As always, we have going down on my screen, we have Tony, Beth, and Grant here from home to talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success. So how's everybody doing today at home?
Good.
Interesting. Been a good day.
Yeah? What have you guys been up to stay busy?
I just really miss humans.
Yeah.
Josh, your beard looks good, man. Did you lose your razor?
Yeah. I've got quarantined, so.
I donated the hair that we shaved off my head to Josh's face.
Nice.
So yeah. So anybody
It's
planning
okay,
any
guys. My hair looks fantastic.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, sorry, Beth.
looks
Yeah,
great,
it looks great. Looks great.
Yeah, thanks.
So has anybody incorporated any good drinking games yet? Like every time you hear someone say, in this time of, add your descriptor there.
Not too much
In
yet.
this
I just have a new.
difficult time, COVID-19.
Yeah. Just playing like the COVID drinking game. Every time someone says pandemic, you just take a shot.
Yeah.
So, just trying to keep it festive, I guess, through this time. I have learned one really great, important thing by being quarantined. It is way cheaper to drink at home than it is at the bar. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
I think you already knew that, but whatever.
Yeah. I did. I just
But we
like
still
the
support
social
everyone
interaction.
going out to their local bars once it's open.
There you go.
Amen.
Yeah. So Beth, what have you been doing to stay productive?
Well, let me just tell you, Zoom has been the best tool ever. So obviously, I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but I'm kind of a people-y kind of person. And I have not been training my whole life for this, to be quarantined and isolated by myself. So Zoom has been one of the best tools ever. And it's just great to be able to use all the chat features, video features. I've been able to have, lunch meetings, snacks, just listening to people work, so that way I can at least not feel so alone. But no, it's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm actually learning a lot. I can get a lot more done, it seems like, whenever I don't have, people bothering me, like Anthony or Grant coming in my office.
Yeah.
I do miss my good buddy, Josh, just being next door.
So,
But no, it's been a pretty awesome experience. So even though it's difficult times, Anthony, don't drink, but even though it's been difficult times, it's just been something, I think that it's very humbling experience learning how to work by yourself and for this extended amount of time and see what different things and how much more productive you can be. So hopefully this is something that will obviously change the future for a lot of different businesses to be able to start working from home.
yeah, I agree.
I've got a pretty unconventional lifestyle to begin with all the kids, and we're always at some event going on or whatever, and all that of course came to a screeching halt. But what's great, one thing I love about working from home, I was really lucky. I got to do this for like 4 years. I got to work from home. Is I'll knock out a group, a set of work, and then I'll help the kids with all their online schooling and things, and then it might be 8 o'clock at night. I jump back on. They're watching a movie or playing Fortnite or whatever it is they're doing and stuff, and I'll jump on and work for 2-3 hours late in the evening as well. And so you're still working a lot of hours, right? But it's just, there is a lot of things that I'm able to stand in my hallway and look at my whiteboard and I'm drawing on it and I'm erasing it and say, wow, that's another bad idea. But oh wait, here's a good one. And so there's just a lot of things that, even though it's an unconventional workspace that a lot of folks are getting into, there's a lot of really neat things that you can do. I've worked from my front porch. I worked from the back. I try to work down by the creek at the end of the property, but my Wi-Fi doesn't reach that far. But there's a lot of really neat ways to kind of break up the day and keep things fresh and motivated and stuff like that too.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've liked how we keep it fresh and chop up the day a lot. I mean, I'll start earlier in the morning, so I wake up earlier, and, then take like a couple hour breaks and do something, maybe go groom my beard, or I do know one thing, whenever we get back, I'm gonna have to watch Live with Kelly and Ryan every morning, because that's like been my go-to now while I'm working. And I actually got to admit that I kind of look like Ryan Seacrest this morning. He was wearing a hoodie like this as well, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, beard, because Ryan Seacrest has even got the beard going on too.
No, not anymore. He's clean shaven now as of this
Oh,
morning.
not anymore?
Yep.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
In America,
So what's the
is suddenly
difference between
disappointed.
working now with a newborn at home versus just
Yeah. No, I got
so
it.
what is your tips and tricks for working with that or working at home with a newborn?
Have an amazing wife / mother of the newborn that deals with everything during the day until 5 o'clock, and then you step in. That's the main go-to for anybody. I would suggest that. I don't see. I really give props to the people that are single parents, have to do all that by themselves while still trying to work at home. And Tony has 42 kids, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But props to them.
Yeah.
I tell you, but right before we went on the recording here, I mentioned I had 75, and my 18-year-old was like, "Where are they at?" Don't worry, they'll be by later. But it's a lot, because right now, I've got 4 kids that are basically they're homeschooling, so Chromebooks around the table, and I'm here at the end of the table with my laptop working, because right before we went home to work, I started a remodel in my son's bedroom, which so all that stuff had to go into the office that I have downstairs.
Yeah.
So that has finally gotten cleared out. But now I'm at home up here. So
There
it
you
is
go.
like that's right. We just close our laptops and eat on top of them. That's worth it.
We got Grant back now. It looks like. Grant, you having some internet troubles or what?
Yeah, so this is a great learning experience. I'm trying to not get too frustrated. That's a very big key to all of this working remotely, is keeping your cool, not saying any expletives. Those types of things are very important to keeping a cool head during this time.
Yep. Life lessons. I think we lost him again.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He is the most calm and reserved person that anyone will ever meet. So if you guys haven't noticed from the podcast before, Grant is always like this super reserved. I'm always the one that people like, is he on blood pressure medicine?
Back.
He's back.
Yes. You're back.
Did you hear anything I said?
No
No.
expletives. No.
Nope.
It's all right, Grant.
The good news is Grant and I are still twins. So I've got my
PFS.
PFS shirt on. So does Grant. So at least we're still trying to think the same.
Yeah, that's scary.
And he's gone again.
And we all have our Easter colors on and our blacks and grays.
Yeah. Yeah. So Beth, I guess, what is some good tips for retailers during this time too? I know there's so much information about that out there. Just some good tips or anything, communication tips. What are your thoughts on that?
I think like what we've been doing with a lot of our retailers is honestly just making sure that you have one area that you can go and find all these different resources for your business to be able to follow or just stay up to date with any current events that are happening, or also any new regulation changes. So I know in particular, just for our Champs Chicken, our Cooper's Express, Blue Taco, all of them, we're sending out links to always updated pages with any kind of promotion ideas when it comes to different human resource, different tips or tricks, different small business association loans, all of that kind of stuff, just so that way they can feel like they're not having to do all this research on their own. So always look out to whatever franchise or any other company that you are looking out to, because they probably are providing those resources to help you along during this time, just because we know that there's so much that you're trying to do as a business owner or just an employee. They're trying to do the best that they can to help you.
Yeah.
And several chamber of commerce websites are providing a lot of links to the government pages for SBA or the payroll protection program. So if you don't have a franchisor to turn to, which is, this is a nice thing about being part of a franchise community is, you do have a franchisor to turn to in those. But if you're an independent or you're not in the food service, you don't have someone to turn to in that, sometimes you can look at these local chamber of commerce websites, and they've got a lot of links to help point you to different areas to help you get through it.
Yep. Grant, you want to add anything? You got service to add something?
I've got service at the moment. I've got about half of what you guys have said so far. So everything I heard was fantastic. But one thing I was going to add, I don't know how much you guys have said already, but I was going to add just some of the things that some of our locations have done is doing certain promotions that benefits the frontline essential workers, doing those types of things, just community support type things. If you are able to invest in that right now, the communities will remember that once we get past this COVID epidemic or pandemic or whatever. So that's something to just keep in mind. If you're able to invest and take a hit right now, it'll pay off in the long run, I think. And also, if you are working in a business that has multiple locations, it's very important just to communicate things you find that are working well, certain promotions and stuff, and just share that that information wherever you can. I know we have with our company that Yammer social media site for work as well. So utilizing that if you can, whatever platform you can, just to share that information is really important during this time as well.
For sure. Yeah. Grant, I like it. Whenever you do talk, you always have great information to tell us. So I'm glad you had the interview.
I was talking quickly so that I got everything in before I lost connection.
That's a good call. And I will note, I know this is a weird time, but like it's good to document your processes that you're doing right now when it comes to like telecommunicating and everybody being connected. So in case, moving forward, who knows if we'll get back to the new normal, when that new normal will be, but it's good to have these documented in case something crazy happens like this again, or just if half the team we work from home from now on, or however that's going to be.
Well, and that's a great point because right now to be planning on what the other side of this COVID issue is, that's the key. I mean, there's a lot of things. Companies have been forced to become innovative and find new efficiencies, and don't lose track of that. I mean, like you said, document it down. Find out where you can fine tune these things once people are back in offices, once work is back to the new normal, because it probably won't be back the way it was, but the new normal, and really get a hold of how do I embrace this? Because, I mean, we were really lucky in the fact that, about a third to a half of our staff works remotely. I mean, as it is, I mean, they're on the road, they're all across the country. So, we do a lot of this stuff already, so it maybe wasn't as much of a culture shock for us. But for a lot of companies, this was a huge shift in how they do business, and some didn't understand how to do it. But as you're learning that, write it down, tweak it, find ways to make it more efficient for your team, for you. But like Grant said, communicate it. No better time than ever right now about, an open book approach. I mean, maybe you're not going to share all your financials because you don't want to, look at an open book management type of a program. And that's what we are. We know the numbers. We know what to expect, when to expect it. We have everyone on board with understanding what that's going to look like, because the communication of the plan, the part that we play in it, all of that is really, really critical, and more critical now than ever. So understanding this is a great opportunity to tweak these processes so that you're so much better prepared just for business for the next era moving forward, not just in case of another issue that comes up.
Yeah, agree.
I'm back.
There you're back. He's back.
It always cuts out when Anthony's talking. I don't know what to do.
That sounds
your internet
strategic.
down.
Yeah, that sounds strategic, Grant. I don't think your internet's going down.
Yeah. So anybody have
internet
anything?
service do you have, Grant? Because that's awesome.
It's very expensive.
Does anybody have anything else to add in regards to?
Give us some more nickels in there to get the internet, the dial-up going.
I don't know.
Silence.
Yeah, there's a little
Lots
delay.
of delays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
great.
know if Grant's frozen or if he's just done talking. I just don't know.
So what one non like digital technology thing have you guys been doing just to take your mind off work or being stuck at home? Like, is it Monopoly, poker? What are you guys doing?
Fishing.
Fishing?
I've actually gone out fishing a couple of times. You know, I mean, the fish are also social distancing because haven't caught anything, but you know, just having that time by the water has been really good. You know.
Nice.
Yes, mushroom hunting for me, and they're doing the exact same thing the fish are doing. They're the experts at social distancing. I've found about 4 mushrooms and probably 7 hours of looking, so not a great average.
It's good walking though.
Yeah, it's great exercise.
Yeah.
I've been walking a lot of hills in my neighborhood. So I've been doing that about 3 times a day. So it's about 1.5 miles around my neighborhood. So trying to keep up with that. I can
Nice.
officially say my hips feel like I'm a 90-year-old woman.
I'm also starting to use this new app called Pulse Hit or whatever. Haven't got to use it much, but free plug for Pulse Hit.
Nice
Yes.
plug there. I know that is technology, which I guess you didn't listen to my question, but yeah, good plug on that one.
I think his internet cut out.
And that's Pulse Hit with 2 eyes.
That's right. Hey, I'll plug it too because I actually I logged that I completed the 15-minute EMOM this morning. I was actually dead after 3 minutes. I just lay there in pain for the other 12.
Yeah. I've never heard of that app, but I'll have to check it out.
It's good. Go download it, everybody.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I've been gardening and playing in the yard a lot, so that's taking my mind off of it. So,
hey, make sure you keeping your plants covered during this cold snap there, Josh.
Yeah, here in Central Missouri, we did have a couple frost nights last 2 nights. So, good call, Grant.
I would hate to see all your hard work go down the drain with one.
Oh, it just forced me to drink more.
Whatever excuse you got to use, buddy.
Well, does anybody have anything relevant to add, or should we wrap this up?
Oh, let's just wrap it up. We've rambled on quite a bit, so just appreciate everybody staying safe, and can't wait to see you guys all again soon.
And thanks for everybody on the front lines out there, the nurses, everybody, postal service workers, just everybody in general. Obviously, too many to name. Thank you all for everything you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Beth, you want to do our social plugs here?
Awesome. Yeah. Anyone that wants to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, we have all of those. Just look us up at QSR Nation. We also have our brand new website that Josh built out, which is freaking awesome, and it is QSRNationPodcast.com. We're also doing a lot of these different YouTube videos, so that way we're now videoing, obviously, all of our podcasts. So check out all of our different channels. Be sure to give us a rating, and also just give us some feedback. Anytime you can, we would absolutely love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
All right, for all of us here at QSR
Thanks,
Nation.
guys.
For all of us here at QSR Nation, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Be sure to join us again for the next episode of QSR Nation.